What was it like to raise Myles Garrett?
Easiest kid ever. And a lot of people, a lot of moms may say that, but I had two dynamic personalities in Sean and Bria. And Myles is 10 years younger than Sean, and Bria and Myles are about 2.5 years apart, two and a half. So she would talk for him. He literally did not have to say anything. Myles just kind of discovered himself when Bria went to college. He was the kid who never asked for anything. You knew he was easy to please. You knew what he wanted for breakfast. He never complained, never. And so he was like that kid. He actually was a very chill kid, just like he is as a man. He takes after my husband like that. My husband is a very chill personality. Bria and I are very, extroverted. And so he was just an easy kid to take care of.
I think you mentioned that he really didn't get too involved in football until when then?
Oh my. He did like a year where he attempted to play football, and he was out there. Texas heat is it's not for the faint of heart. Mm-hmm. And he came off that field and he was like, Daddy, I don't want to play no more. And he hadn't even played a game, I don't think. And my husband actually let him quit. And that's one of those things that I just refuse to do. I believe if you start something as a kid and I've spent money on it, you're not quitting. I don't care if it's piano lessons. I don't care if I haven't got an instructor to teach you how to play tic-tac-toe, you're going to get those instructions. And so I could not believe that he let Myles quit. And, but he's the youngest. So, we're a lot more lax with him. And, he had no interest. He was a basketball player. He wanted to be Sean Williams part 2. And he was out there just playing basketball, but he was so chunky, he was never overweight. He was just always the biggest kid on the block, even at his age. He came here an 11-pound baby and he did not disappoint.
11 pounds?
Yeah.
And you delivered him? At 11 pounds?
Yes. Yeah. Well, Sean was 10 pounds.
Wow.
So I had big babies. Bria was almost 8. But I knew once I had Myles, I wouldn't have any kids.
Oh my goodness.
My baby bearing days was over.
That's a 6-month-old, for goodness sake.
Indeed, for most people.
No.
Yeah, so he really thought of himself as a basketball player. So he started playing basketball early. One just outside with Sean, and we always had a basketball court in the driveway. And so his passion was actually basketball. And he got 2 offers to play at the Division I level. And so, but he was Myles Garrett, the football player at that point.
I read something that I didn't know about Myles, and that was that he had those surgeries when he was 11 and 12. Yeah. And so that kind of shaped and impacted him a little bit too, right?
It does. If you ever watch him walk, he walks with his left foot kind of turned in. Mm-hmm. And he's always very slow in his gait when he walks. In fact, when you see him run and he pushes off, his left foot is kind of turned in. Dr. Dan Bacta did a wonderful job. How we found out Myles needed surgery is my husband had back surgery. And they told us, the back surgeon said, everything starts from your feet. So he referred us to Dr. Bacta. And during a visit, we said, oh, well, Myles has feet just like him. And he said, bring him in. Let's look at him. And he said, he took, scans of his feet. And he said, his feet are totally collapsed. So your feet look like this. Myles's feet look like this. His bones were collapsed. He had no arch, no anything. So Dr. Bacta went in, put in arches. They snipped a tendon in the back. So that it was too tight. Myles couldn't even dunk the ball. He had no hops whatsoever. So when you see him jumping and doing those videos and doing the standing jump, it's amazing because the kid had no jumps until he got that surgery. And at that point, he started dunking the ball, and here we go, Myles Garrett. Yeah.
Yeah. So 11 years old and 12 years old, he had one each year.
One after the other. Yeah.
Wow. That is pretty incredible.